None of us are easy. The search for love often feels like a quest for perfection, a mission to find the person who will seamlessly fit into our lives, share our tastes, mirror our values, and never step on our emotional toes. It's a story we've all been sold through movies, novels, and social media feeds, the promise of effortless romance, where every moment is harmonious and every conflict resolves itself with a kiss under the stars. But the truth, if we're brave enough to admit it, is far less romantic. None of us are easy to date, deal with, or please all the time. The idea of perfection is a comforting lie. It tells us that somewhere out there is someone who will love us without ever asking for compromise, who will understand us without the need for communication, who will never frustrate, bore, or annoy us. But this notion is as misleading as it is unattainable. Relationships are far messier, more textured, and, ultimately, more rewarding than any fairy tale could depict. We all carry our quirks, those little idiosyncrasies that make us who we are. Perhaps it's the way we leave clothes strewn across the floor, or the fact that we take our coffee with far too much sugar. Maybe it's our tendency to retreat when we're upset, or our habit of interrupting others mid-sentence. We are, by nature, complex creatures, filled with contradictions, habits, and flaws. And so are the people we love. What's important, then, isn't finding the perfect person, because no such person exists. Rather, it's about finding someone we're willing to work with, and who's willing to work with us. Love, real love, is built not on perfection, but on effort. It's simple in theory, yet so hard to achieve in practice. It's easy to get swept up in the idea of love as something that should be easy. After all, if you truly love someone, shouldn't it feel effortless? Yet, the most meaningful relationships are the ones that take work, not in a burdensome, exhausting sense, but in the way a gardener tends to their plants. You water them, prune them, give them sunlight, and in return, they grow. Relationships require the same care. They demand attention, patience, and a willingness to adapt. But this work isn't about fixing the other person or trying to mold them into the version of a partner we imagined in our heads. It's about navigating the inevitable rough patches together, knowing that both of you are learning and evolving as you go. The right person isn't someone who never challenges you. They're the one who's willing to grow alongside you. Sometimes we have to experience what we don't want in life before we truly understand what we do want. This might mean dating someone whose values don't align with ours, or realizing that we need a partner who communicates more openly. These experiences, though painful, are part of the process of discovery. They teach us about our needs, our limits, and our capacity to compromise. And yet, it's easy to dismiss someone because they don't meet our ideal checklist, because they're a little difficult, or because they have habits that irritate us. But in doing so, we might be passing up on something far deeper and more valuable. The good ones never come easy, and we should never forget that love, in all its messy, imperfect glory, is worth the effort. There's a simple but profound truth that often gets lost in our daily lives. We could lose someone at any moment. Life, as much as we try to control it, is unpredictable. If we truly remembered this every day, we would love more fiercely, more freely, and without fear. We wouldn't waste time obsessing over minor flaws or waiting for the other person to be perfect. We would appreciate them in all their complexity for who they are, knowing that what we have with them is fleeting and precious. Loving someone fully, with all their imperfections, isn't about ignoring the possibility of loss. It's about embracing it. We love not because we have nothing to lose, but because everything can always be lost. The pursuit of a perfect relationship is a misguided one. There is no such thing as the ideal partner. Only people who are willing to work through the challenges, put in the effort, and grow alongside us. The quirks, the disagreements, the occasional frustrations, they are part of the package. What matters is that, amid the imperfections, we find someone who is worth the work and who believes we are too. The fairy tale may not exist, but the reality, a love that requires effort, compromise, and mutual growth, is far more fulfilling. And if we can live each day knowing that everything we have is fragile and temporary, we'll cherish it all.